Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So today we have Carol joining us. Hi, Carol.
Hi, Amanda.
So we have a exciting success story of how basically, they met, but then, she started, manifesting him away, and then basically turned it around and got him back to where he wants to hang out with her. He can't stop thinking about her, so essentially he's chasing her. So exciting! So we're going to
Yes.
share this success story of Carol's fight, and then of course we're going to talk about how you could create this in your life if you'd like. So yeah, I'm
Awesome.
excited to hear the story.
Yes. This is an awesome I mean, they all are. This one, I'm a sucker for romantic movies, and this sounds like it came out of a romantic movie. Um, it does. Um, so they actually met on a cruise. They were both on vacation. They met on a cruise, and they live very far away from each other. They met on the second day, and they were both with family. And he saw her across the room, and he just decided that he was drawn to her and he wanted to talk to her, and they started talking, and sparks everywhere, and the butterflies, and they hit it off, instant chemistry, twin flames, all the good stuff. They ended up spending the rest of the week together on the cruise, and then once they were supposed to go home, they decided to stay in touch and continue to getting to know each other, and continue talking on the phone, getting to know each other, see where this goes. And, according to her, the first weeks were awesome. It was just like a movie. They would FaceTime every day, constant calling and texting, and loving messages and attention and sending flowers. And it was beautiful. So anyhow, and after a few weeks, she kind of noticed that he got busy with work and he wasn't texting as much, and a lot of insecurity started surfacing, and a lot of reacting, where she would argue with him, or just kind of question him about not texting back right away, or just like spending the whole day without texting or calling or whatnot. And slowly there were a lot of arguments, and just things started to pile up a little bit, until he slowly started to back away, back away, back away, until he completely stopped calling. He disappeared, ghosting. He would just probably answer like one word texts. He would take 2 days to answer a text. And well, a lot of us know how that feels like. It does not feel good. so so yes, that's when she started looking for help, and she came across Neville Goddard and the Law of Attraction, and she came across Create Your Future, and we started working on her story about relationships. And it just so happened that her story about relationships is a lot of people's stories, including how my story was, in which guys want to marry me the day they meet me, but then back in the day, that was my story. That changed. So that was her story as well, where guys, they want everything with me, but then they back away for some reason, blah 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 blah. I get a little possessive about it, and I start arguing, and then relationship is over. So we worked on that. We worked on creating a reality in which she is loved, men commit to her. She is given everything that she wants. Her needs are always met. She is first priority. Every man in her reality wants to make her happy. Everybody in her reality is always there for her unconditionally. And we started working on that. And we started creating a reality in which she is getting exactly what she wants, what she needs, and what she deserves, right? And with that, we worked a lot on self-concept as well. And one of the things that actually set the tone in this particular situation was setting boundaries for herself. We talked about setting boundaries for herself is so important, because it's setting boundaries for yourself is literally not entertaining or taking anything outside of what you want. And I am very visual, so I actually have to create a visual in which this makes sense. And we created this visual in which she is, on her lane, and she's just moving forward, going forward, and everything that is coming her way is what she wants to experience. People are just showing up. She's moving forward, she's driving, she's in control, and people just keep showing up and showing up in her reality, including him, how she wants to experience them. And she has boundaries on each side. So anytime she felt like she was drifting with a thought or maybe some negative feedback, she would just like, nope, I am setting boundaries. I am not entertaining anything outside of my lane. I am sticking to my lane, and that is it. That is all I want. That I'm sticking to that. I deserve this. I am getting it. And I mean, it almost came like this confidence just kind of like came to her, and she just completely flipped this around to the point where all of a sudden she got a text from him, hey, how are you? What have you been up to? And her confidence was so on point, and she was so just laid back about it. So they started talking again. And slowly now he is, I miss what we had. We had such an amazing time. I want to see you again. I can't stop thinking about the last time we saw each other. I've been thinking so much about you lately. I haven't, there's no one like you. It's so special. You're so magical. You're the perfect woman for me. And, she was so excited about it that she actually talked to one of her friends. And she was telling her about, he contacted me again. This is amazing. And her friend was like, okay, so because he started saying that I'm going to go see you. I'm making plans to see you. I've already took time off work. I'm going to work around all this, whatever I need to do. I'll quarantine. I'll take the test. I just want to see you. So when she told her friend about it, her friend said to her, well, that's funny. He actually emailed me, he messaged me on Facebook about 2 days ago, because asking me if he could, if I could help him to surprise you, because he wanted to come and he wanted to just show up at your door. But, because of the quarantine thing, things have to be planned out or whatnot. But so she was like, oh my gosh. So this entire time he was already planning it, everything was working out behind me. And I had no idea. And then her friend confirmed, yes, he texted me. We talked about planning a surprise for you. And well, I guess he told you then. So surprises, but no, it's still amazing. He's still coming. So yes, things are working out for her. And I think it's just the fact that he took it upon himself to contact a friend because he wanted to surprise her. He wanted to make this special. That in itself means the world. Even though the surprise didn't happen, he actually ended up telling her anyways. But that in itself is this is amazing. This is magical. This guy he's just showing that he would do anything to see her again. And that's exactly what she worked on. And she shifted out of nothing to getting all this.
Exactly. That is so cool. That is such an amazing story. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, you bring up an interesting point about boundaries. I know, for instance, in this law of attraction sort of world, sometimes we hear, well, everyone is pushed out. So, I mean, I created them to do that anyway. So I feel like I've got to be a doormat and put up with it. I mean, so what you're saying is that isn't the case with boundaries. So how do the boundaries work? How would I set myself a boundary?
Yeah, you just don't accept it. You just don't accept it. You don't look at it. You don't accept it, right? And just no, I deserve better than this. Whenever someone shows up in your reality and it's
Right.
not what you want, you just don't know. This is not what I deserve. This is not what I want. And I'm staying focused on what I want to see and how I want to experience this person.
Right, exactly. So that's so awesome. So it's basically sticking to your mental diet and saying nope and recreating your intention that you actually want. And I think that the other part of it too that you're mentioning is creating that the other person is going to respect your boundary and intending that they are going to show up like that, right?
Exactly. And I've been talking about boundaries a lot lately. I think it has come up several times during coaching, in which people not only have to set boundaries, for themselves, but they actually have to verbalize a boundary or just kind of draw the line with someone. And I think that's okay too, especially, but when you do it, it's about drawing the line, but affirming that they love you more for it, that they respect you and admire you more for it, rather than, because a lot of people set the boundary and then they worry about it. They're like, oh my gosh, I hope he doesn't get mad at me for this. No, you just, you respect yourself, you set a boundary, but then you intend that they respect you for it, that they love you even more for it, that they're going to admire you because you're a high value woman or high value person in general. It's just a matter of what is your mental diet? Where's your mind at when you are setting that boundary.
Exactly. So, because I like, when you said that, I was like so guilty. I would set boundaries and think that people wouldn't like me for it. I'd be like, oh my goodness, like, don't be upset, right? But now, it's about setting them and intending that people respect you and that people are good with it and they totally understand and they wouldn't have it any other way, and I think that's the biggest part here because, we sometimes I think as humans, we internalize things too much, especially when other people aren't happy. So it's almost like, if somebody's not happy that's in a relationship with us or around us, we internalize it sometimes and make it that we're not good enough when really maybe they're just not happy for that moment. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with us. And I think anytime that we can avoid making anything mean that we're not good enough and it's not us or whatever the case is, same thing with the boundaries, right? Setting a boundary, but then going, okay, well, they're not going to like me for this. Anytime we can avoid that and work on our self-concept is always, very, very important, right?
Yeah, perception is projection, like you say.
Exactly. Right?
And it actually helped her. It actually helped her not react to, which is like it was one of the most challenging things for her, even when he started showing up again, because at first he wasn't like he was just like he started texting her, but not every day. So just sticking to her lane and just her own boundaries and continue focusing on the end goal and living in the end helped her stick to it when he started showing up, but not completely texting her constantly, like every day, like she wanted to. And it kept her from reacting. She's like, no, I got this, that confidence, I got this. It kept her from reacting. And that was one of the biggest challenges for her, because initially at first when she created the separation, it was a lot of reacting constantly. And I always say, when you react, you have two things to worry about, because now you have to do a mental diet about the reason why you reacted, and you have to do a mental diet about reacting. So it's like, I mean, it's better to just focus on one, and just, because at least when you don't react, you're like, okay, I'm going to stick to my mental diet, but at least I have my dignity. Like, that's how I feel when I don't react. I'm like, yes, I didn't react. I got this.
Exactly. No, exactly. And I think you brought up something really, really important is, the more faith you have, the less reacting you do, because what I do is I try to take things as a joke. You know what I mean? That way, I'd be like, oh, obviously it's a joke, but it's always that one time that somebody changes their mind and you're like, what? Really? No. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, right? Like, you're like, what? Really? Like, no way. But I think that it's also incredibly important though is to build your faith by doing those little tiny manifestations, and creating little things throughout your day to see the correlation between your thoughts and what shows up in your reality. Because the more faith that you've got, then the less resistance you're going to have, and the less work you're going to have to do, because you're not going to be fighting your own intentions, right? And I think that that's huge, that you can just go and create, and there's nothing going, oh, no, how do you know that's going to happen, right? Because you've got so much evidence, right?
Oh yeah, manifesting from your God state. I always say, you have to do this from a point of certainty. That certainty that, okay, so you might feel blah, you might feel okay about it or super happy about it. I have manifested things without feeling like a happy emotion. It's just the knowing. I just know, I know that it's done, and just knowing that's the feeling that I want, because I know I'm going to be happy when I get it, but I have to know that it's mine. It's mine, and that feeling of certainty goes so far.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And it's not about being happy. You're right. It's just about the actual knowing of it. So amazing.
Yes.
Awesome. I love it.
Stay tuned, because there's a second part to this success story.
Oh, is there really? Okay, I'm excited.
Yes, she's working on the commitment part, and of course, he is planning to he's coming to see her, and within the next few weeks. And I mean, these people, they're going to get married, and this is going to be like a fairy tale type of deal. I'm telling you, they have to make a movie about this. This is like,
I intend.
So they're going to the second part. Yes.
That is so amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing that success story. It's amazing.
Thank you,
guys, you're welcome. If you guys would like any extra help, definitely check out the link in the description below. And guys, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.